left from Mario in 9 minutes and 1 second. For clarification, before we get into the run, this is not a law-abiding speedrun. You will not see this on speedrun.com or any sort of categories. This is simply just for fun. Despite that, I am still following the site's rules. For the most part anyways. You can replicate this. Someone else would be able to world record. They could do this. For example, a lady asked me about this. Why don't you just kick the bots if you say this is solo? In the rules, kicking the bots is not allowed. Technically cheating. You're using an external command to get an advantage. That's simply what it is. But also, the bots are essential for the finale. There's not really too much. This is pretty late into my runs for a sub 9. There's not really much difference, but a big mistake here is that I mess up this pipe jump here 4 times. That's a big time loss. As you can see, I get into the pipe here at 33 seconds. Burhack, who just did the normal route, got to the pipe in 30 seconds. I also get very bad tank spawns there. Very tank and charger spawn. Because I was so slow, I allowed specials to spawn in the area above the ladder. So I had to wait for a tank and a charger to pass by. Very sad. And I also check... You can see me check one of the boxes back there for... And a frying pan dropped out. What I'm looking for in those boxes is a grenade launcher, which I get in this one, though. Another few things that make up for a little bit of loss of time are the 2 piranha boosts I get.
At least I made it.
And at this point, I am 2 seconds behind the record. Heading into 1-2 with a 1:39. A little slow, definitely slow. Not the worst, but I'll definitely have to make up time for it later on. God. It's always Rochelle. It's always Rochelle that just causes a lot of the problems in my runs. I think she's more of a bad luck charm for me than anything. Very slow 1-2 beginning. I even fall down here, and I can't use the grenade launcher because of the witch. I do get lucky, I don't get hit there. And again, because I'm so far behind, I don't do debris skip. Debris skip is just so unreliable. And there's a tank in this hallway here. I do get missed, and the spit doesn't stop me above the little hole there. So yeah, I'm not feeling too good about this run because I do slow down a little bit up here as well because there's a jockey up here. As you can see, I almost get jockeyed there. I'm absolutely petrified of it, as you can see by me shooting at it with the pistol. I also forgot to grab 2 pistols at the safe room.
At least I made it.
13 seconds behind the record. Not looking good. Going into 1-3 with a 3:16. So, typically I probably would restart the run here, but I do have an advantage. The grenade launcher. And I already have an adrenaline in hand. But I actually don't realize just how quick I am. And you'll see why. Here, I'm trying to go as fast as I can through the level. Unfortunate witch spawn. But as you see, the platform goes away. And I actually missed an early cycle here for the platform. I was fast enough and I could have made an early platform, but I completely forgot about it. But I still try to make up for some time here what you saw me perform was an early barrier. Because I theorized very early on that one of the biggest hurdles in 1-3 here is this barrier here. The end of 1-3 takes about 50 seconds total to get through. And that is something you want to cut down as much as you want. Obviously the main way is shooting at the gas cans at the barrier and waiting for it. The barrier takes 20 seconds to fully burn once it's ignited. Because there's an invisible wall there. So one of the ways that you can speed this up is with a grenade launcher. If you perfectly arc the grenade... What are you looking at, kitty? If you perfectly arc it, you can hit the barrier very early. And that's what I did. So now I am 4 seconds ahead of the record.
Alright, now I'm back.
But as you might have missed here, I do not have an adrenaline. Adrenaline sometimes spawns in the safe room there, but I do not get one. You can see I'm a little upset. Because obviously every minute in a finale counts. And without the adrenaline to quickly speed through here to get an early vine, it's very disheartening. This is also rough to see because this is a point where I did not develop a strategy for the finale yet. The finale is the biggest hurdle. Because you can get a very good run, but if you don't have a strategy here, you could lose a huge amount of time here. You could get a 409, 425 even. It's very scary. Especially with how open this area is. Boomers add to the time as well. Which you hear right here. I'm terrified. I'm trying to move the bots out of the way, but luckily not too bad. This finale is fairly slow, but I do get a spawn at 2 minutes exact. But the tank spawns across the map. The tank has to go through the infected passage, the infected only passages to get across. So that's a lot of time down the drain right there. Came in here with a 458, and that is basically super bare minimum. I would have to do the finale in 4 minutes and 1 second. That's what I'm hoping for here. But because I came in here without a strategy, I am essentially just relying on good spawns and whatever. Overall, I would say this is a very bad run. As you can see, all of the deltas there are all red. And the only saving grace here was the early barrier with the grenade launcher here. But again, it just wasn't enough to get me a sub 9. Which, if you didn't know, I've been grinding sub 9 for a little while now. I've taken the record down from a 907 to a 905, 904, 903, now a 901. Thankfully, thankfully it wasn't just a second. The ending was a little jank there. It's like I get rocked and I get charged Still, I don't think it really mattered in the long run. The live split thing says that it's a 9:02, but calculating the LRT, the precise time, LRT stands for load remove time, gave me a 9:01.866. Overall, it's a record nonetheless, but it's definitely not a record I was very proud of. There's so much I could have improved on, which I do afterwards, but here in the moment I definitely fell flat, and I only got the record by 2 seconds, 1 technically. So I think the biggest areas of improvement that could have been made here were a better Mario skip, which is the first couple of pipe jumps at the start. If I had done that on the first try, it definitely would have been really good. Maybe a more smoother, maybe I would have wanted a little bit of a smoother 1-2. And I wish I realized I had made the early cycle in 1-3, because that was very unfortunate. I did not realize that I had missed the early, it was literally just waiting there too. Actually, I don't know if I would have got a better time, because I did not tap Alice a little bit more. Yeah, Alice had a lot of health still when he was down. For the finale, I guess just better RNG, but I can't control that. So I guess just better positioning or better reaction, and a better plan definitely. All in all, bad run. Bad run, only saved by... Yeah, I'm trying to think of what really saved this run in a good finale, really. Very unfortunate, because of just how close this run was to a sub 9.